Welcome. This session is powered by Global Talent Solution, supported by leaders of all nations, Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs, Helping Hand Foundation, Explore London, Global International Alliance, Ladies of All Nation Global Foundation, RM Infinite, International Youth Society and Dream Bigger. Today's host is Dr. Jaya Sajnani, and the guests are Dr. Nene C, Oluwagbohun and Dr. Maina Gĩokõ. Enjoy the session.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today with us in our fourth session of Mindful Entrepreneur Program. Today's topic is work-life balance. I am Dr. Jaya Sajnani. I'm a mom, entrepreneur, author, CEO of the YG Travel, Helping Hands Foundation, Explore London, and co-founder of Global Talent Solution Hub. Yes, GTS is a non-profit organization with a vision to create of the future where talent knows no boundaries. We believe that every individual, regardless of their background or circumstances, should have access to the quality education, training, and opportunity to excel in their chosen field. We serve as a bridge between the education system and the talent across the globe. We offer future study abroad program, cultural exchange program, student exchange program, and online sessions where students and the professionals can engage with the industry experts around the globe. In the fast-paced world of entrepreneurship, mental health is often take a backseat. We know that. To champion the cause of the mental health awareness, as the May month is known for it, it's crucial to highlight the unique challenges faced by the entrepreneurs and explore the strategy to foster resilience and the well-beingness. Therefore, we have dedicated this program to educating and empowering those individuals with the tools and techniques, not only to identify, but also to use to overcome the feeling of being overwhelmed when you are an entrepreneur. So before we start today's session, I would like to express my huge gratitude to our supporters. Without them, this project would not be possible. So very first, our supporter is Professor Caroline Makaka, who is the founder of Leaders of All Nation International. We have a lady, Dr. Robbie Motor, who is a founder of GSFE, Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs in USA. Dr. Lenora Peterson, who is a founder of GIA, Global International Alliances USA. Dr. Randy D. Ward, who is a Dream Bigger Institute and a RM Infinitive. Lily and Harry, who are founders of Speakers Are Leaders. So thank you so much, our supporters, to supporting us to run this program. Now, some logistic and rules. Before we start, I request everyone to mute yourself, please, and do not unmute until you've been asked to do so or there is a question and answer at the end. Now, as you all are waiting for the moment to come, there you go, our very first speaker. Without ado, let's invite on the stage Dr. Maina Gĩokõ. Let me tell you a few things about the Dr. Maina. He is an author of a race in education. He's focusing on innovative education practices for sustainable development. He works on the grants projects, piloting intervention, and using the finding to influence practices and policy and inform future directors in the education. He's passionate about the environment and innovation. He's a recipient of several awards, including top 50 teachers in the Global Teacher Prize. He identifies himself as a learning facilitator. Wow, wonderful. Please welcome on the stage, Dr. Maina Gĩokõ. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And this is a very great opportunity to be here all the way from Mombasa, Kenya. and to share about work-life balances, which is a very, very important attribute because we have so many things in our in-tray. And the thing is to ask ourselves, what is it that we need to work on? What is it that we need to share? Or what is it that we need to balance and see if it works? So I'm going to talk about this, and I'm just checking my presentation to see if it is in order so that you can see it. I don't know if you can see it from that side. So, can you see it from that side?
No, we can't see. I think you did share, but it disappeared again back. So can you share it again?
Okay, no problem. Let me just try again. Okay, slideshow from current. So you can. Okay, it's failing. Let me try. I don't know why it had agreed, but now it is refusing again.
Mudit, can you help, please?
Let me see if I'll be able to.
Let me give the co-host, like remove and give you again.
Can you see it now?
Yeah. Yes.
So
yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. So I love this quote by Helter Shark, which says that you will never truly be satisfied by work until you are satisfied by life. So it means that life and work, they are interrelated, and therefore we need to create a proper balance between the two. And therefore, in this particular session, I'd like to go through some strategies on how we can have a healthier work life, where we can balance, prioritize well-being, as well as master these 24 hours, which is the only time we're given per day, and set effective boundaries. So that's what I'd like to share in the next 10 minutes. And I'll talk about time management strategies, how we can have an organizational support, as well as issues of how can we balance using technology and ensure that we have a balance in our work and in our life. So to begin with, the height of a building is determined by the foundation. And therefore, we need some fundamental things that we can do to ensure that we are successful in what we do. For example, taking a break every hour of 5 minutes, very basic, fundamental, mundane task which we can do. Eating healthy, as well as exercising. So I'll just begin with these very few 3 ways in which we can work with. And there are some strategies, for example, Pomodoro is one of the strategies whereby you pick a task, you work for 25 minutes, and then you take a rest of 5 minutes, and then you repeat it up to 4 times. So after the 4th time, you take a longer break. You will realize that it's like a step. You are now able to be in control of time, and you are in charge because every short break, you come back, you are refreshed, and you are ready to take up and move. So that is one strategy which I will share with you. The other strategy is being able to now categorize your tasks, whether it's important, not important, it's urgent, not urgent. Ladies and gentlemen, not everything is urgent. So we should not be living on the pin that things are urgent. So once we are able to categorize things that this is important, but it's not urgent, I'm giving an example, like signing up a professional development course, or this is not important, it's not urgent. And then this is important, it's not important, but it's urgent. And this is important and it's urgent. So once you've been able to categorize them, so you first do what is important and it is urgent. What is not important is not urgent, please delegate. Somebody can do it. What is important and it's not urgent, schedule it to do it at a different time. If it's not important and it's not urgent, it is a waste of your time. So that is something that you need to know so that you can be effective. Remember, you can't do everything, so you need to prioritize. The other thing is the way you put your goals. Make sure they are smarter goals. When you want to do something, You make sure it is specific. And you can be able to measure the success of its progress. You can't say it is so. No. You're very sure. You can say, I've done 20%, I've done 30%, I'm approaching 70%. And whatever you are aiming at, it's very achievable. And it is relevant to what you want to do, but it is time bound. So I want to do it by the next week. I want to do it by Wednesday. And then you are able to evaluate the success of what you're doing. But the best part of it is that reward that you get when you finish that task. So when you are able to have these smarter goals of doing work, then you get that endorphin of, I've finished this task, I need to go to this one. So you feel very refreshed every time you finish a task. And the third approach which I talk about is prioritization. You have 10 things. You have to think which one needs to be done immediately, which one needs to be done later, which can be done by somebody else. So once you are able to delegate and prioritize, then this will be effective. So ladies and gentlemen, I've just given you 3 strategies. And when you do these 3 strategies, you will find that your work is now distributed. You are able to manage your tasks in an efficient manner. You're not just walking through the tasks, but you are engaged, you are refreshed, and you are managing them without any stress. And those are just 3 strategies which you can do for time management. So as we move on, I like to share some quotes. And Bruce Lee tells us here that it is not easy, but daily increase hacks as away as inessential. So there are things you have to leave them. There are things you don't have to work with. It's about reduction so that we are productive. So that's what you do. So as we move on, they have to say no to things. You have to have a boundary of how. Be very honest and say, thank you very much, Dr. Jana, and I appreciate you're giving me that task. I can seriously tell you at that time I will be occupied. So be honest and direct. Don't go around the bush. Don't feel guilty. Provide an alternative and say, please, can you contact Dr. Nene? She might be able to do that. So provide an alternative for that. And then prioritize your commitment. Because if you have if what Dr. Jaya is giving is more important, then you can take that. But if you have something else which is very important than that at that particular time, prioritize your commitment. Stay professional. It's about your wellness. I know you would love to do it. I know you would love to participate, but at this particular time, there is no time for that. So say no. Can. Then the other thing is expectation. When you're doing something, set clear boundaries of what you expect. If you want me to do a task, please give me 1 week ahead of time. Let me know exactly what you want. So when there are clear boundaries of what is to be done, then it allows what to do. The other thing is under promise, but always over deliver. So that every time you're working, be above the bar of what you said you can do. Always shine in what you're doing. And provide regular updates. If you have given a task for a week, after 3 days, say, I've been able to, and now at this stage, now I'm doing at this. So it's very clear on the process that you are taking. Be transparent, because that will help you. Won't feel guilty. You say, you know what? I was reviewing the book, but I'm just on the first chapter. When you're very transparent, it doesn't bring any tension among you and the people, and that can be another thing. And then have a schedule. Use a planner. Use a digital planner. Like now, I was going for a walk. I got an alert that I have a session in 4 p.m. BST. I checked my time. Oh, my time is 6 p.m. So I walked for my hour and I was here on time. So have a digital planner and then prioritize tasks, schedule breaks in between, and then set boundaries of work and review and adjust regularly. So ensure every time you are bringing in people, you are letting people out. So it's there. It's something which is accommodative all the time, because if I like to rest at 10 and I realize that I don't enjoy it, move it so that it's not laborious, but it's very comfortable as you're working on it. So that is a planner which you can use. And if you're able to do this, you know what? You will now become a multitasker. You can manage so many things in a very comfortable way, and you won't have any problem. But then there is systemic way of supporting you. Where does your organization stand in? Where does the technology stand in? So many organizations, they have flexi time. Like now I'm working from home. Tomorrow I'm working from the office. So that flexi time can allow you to work in a way which is very good. There are technologies you can use. There are apps like Slack, like Asana. They can be your assistant. And they can be alerting you, Dr. Jana, you have this meeting. Dr. Jana, you have to mail this person. So it can keep you on track as you are working on. And then it is also crucial that you set boundaries. There's one day I checked my mail from 8 to 5. I had 2,000 mails.
Mute.
Since that day, I said I only check mails from 10 to 12. That's it. Because I discovered mails can be a full-time job. So it's very, very important to be able to understand. So I can say this, time is a coin of your life. It is the only coin you have, and only you can determine how to spend it. It's very, very important. And now, as I conclude, I'd like you to think about what have taken you through. Is there something that you can set boundary? Is there something you can try in time management? Is there something you can prioritize? You can share in chat if you have. But this is for us to reflect. After listening to Dr. Maina in the last 10 minutes, what is my takeaway? Did I invest my 10 minutes well? Am I coming out with something? That is something to think about. Thank you very much, but I'll end with this quote. Balance is not something you find. It is something that you create. Thank you very much.
Wow. Oh my God. That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Yaku. This was fantastic. And I really agree with you. It's just amazing how much time it takes on just checking the emails. And some of emails are just literally you want to just click on the spam, nothing more. So yes, that is fantastic. And I am so happy. We have 233 live viewers at the moment, Dr. Maina, who has taken so much notes from your 10 minutes word spending here, which is very good. And the people who join us late, if you have not taken the note or you missed the session, let me just quickly recap to you that Dr. Yaku has mentioned very, very important, that like a SWOT analysis. What is urgent, what is not urgent, what is important, what is not important. Something which is not urgent and not important, delete. Don't worry too much about that, because that is not urgent and not important. Then after, Dr. Yaku mentioned about the smarter goals. Yes, smarter, which will allow you to not just define the goals, achieve the goal, but reward, achieve it and celebrate it. Because that small success in between will make you re-energize and help you to motivate you to do the another task. And then we learned from Dr. Yaku about the prioritizing the task. Yes, we must prioritize. We need to be honest, prioritize, and of course, your commitment has to be clear. Decide what you want to do it now. And if something is really bothering you, set the boundaries. You need to learn to say no, which is not urgent and not important. So clear boundaries. And some of the, don't try to be over promise, always under promise. And if somebody is giving you task, you are working somewhere and your boss is giving you a task, make sure regular updates. That helps a lot, because that makes the person keep of mind saying that, hey, your work is going on, take me a, it's going to take time, and this is what the progress look like. And the very important thing what I learned from is the balance is something you don't just find it. You have to create. And that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Yaku. And now Don't go anywhere. We have a fantastic, very lovely. I met this speaker just a month ago in California event, and she is fantastic. Let me tell you about this. We have here another speaker as Dr. Nene C. Oluwagbohun. She has the 14 years of the veteran in team building coaching. My God, she's specialized in applying expertise to the family system. She's a founder of You and Your Child, INC. That means this company is registered in USA, and Global Change Agent Academy. She's dedicated to fostering leadership in youth and combating mental health issues. Recipients of the numerous awards, including Kingdom Image Award and Spirit of Empowerment. Wow, she's certified family system coach. She's a member of esteemed organizations like AAMFT and ICCI. They both are global organization and registered in USA. She's also committed to empowering family worldwide. So let's introduce and welcome our lovely speaker, Dr. Nene, to the floor. Thank you. Dr. Nene, can you unmute yourself? You are muted. If you can unmute. We can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now?
But you are muted on your desktop, I think. It's echoing.
Okay, now can you hear me? Hi, everybody. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everyone here. I'm so excited to be here. Dr. Yada, thank you so much for this opportunity. And Dr. Gĩokõ, right? That was such an amazing, amazing presentation. Thank you so much, sir. That was really impactful. Thank you. You actually took so many words from my mouth and you spoke literally everything I was going to be talking about. But let me just jump right in and just share a little of what I just want to talk to everyone here. And I just want to say thank you all for being here, taking your time out to be here. We really do appreciate you all. So again, I'm just going to be talking about work-life balance. This is so crucial right now in our society today because of what we're going through in the global world with the mental health issues and all that. And we have seen that this is a pressing need to actually help people become aware of how to have a balance because people just get walking and walking and walking. I've had situations where people just come in and say, oh, I'm having heart issues because they've not been able to look at themselves, take out time, prioritize things, and know what to do. Even just your medical appointments. A lot of people get to forget them because they're not prioritizing things. Just like Dr. Gĩokõ said, they don't actually have systems to help them prioritize. And these are things we can actually do on our own. The things we can actually, with even our families, prioritizing our children. You see, parents are so stressed out. We juggle work, we juggle family, we juggle business, we juggle a whole lot of things that are actually pressing on us, and we're not taking a personal time. So I'm going to be talking about you actually taking care of yourself. The me, you, the you. How are you taking care of yourself? That's going to help you be more productive. It's so important to be intentional about that. Your health. How much are you eating? How much are you taking exercises? How much are you going on a walk? Just setting out even 5 minutes. You just need 150 minutes in a week to actually exercise, to be healthy. 150 minutes. So at the end of the day, people look at this as a menopause coach. And having been in the menopause field for now and coaching women, I've actually found that a lot of women are not actually looking into that. Just divide 150 into 7 days. You just need to take that time to take a walk, eat, drink a lot of water. That is one of the key things you need. You need to be intentional about that. I'm trying to share my slide. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, now it is here. Can everybody see that? Now it's okay, thank you. I'll try and navigate all of that right now. You've got to be very intentional about your health. Your health is so important because things actually happen. We've heard of people who just slumped in the office. people who just passed out because they didn't even know what was going on. They didn't prioritize. It's so important for you to take that walk, go on that walk, relax yourself, understand yourself, regulate yourself, as in go for physical exercise, eat well, boost your energy, have your me self. There are times you just want to stay alone and just read. You just want to read a book. You just want to reflect on your day. It's so important. It's something you want to do for yourself. It's not being selfish. Do yoga. Get yourself, it helps reduce the stress you're experiencing. Now let's go into maintaining a healthy, like I talked about, have a good sleep and have time to rest, then reflect. What are the things you have done? Like Dr. Yoga said, create a timetable or a schedule, know what is important and what is urgent. A lot of times we go for the things that are urgent, but they're not important. And then we get to that point of like, oh, I was supposed to do this. I didn't do this. I was supposed to do this. I didn't do this. But the important thing is understand what is important and what is urgent. What is urgent may not be important. You know what is important and what is urgent. Go for that which is important. And when you're able to do that, at the end of the day, take out your time to reflect. Take out your time to think. Take out a time to just review on the things you have done and see, okay, the things I was able to do, did I meet my target, the goal I've set for myself in the day? Was I able to meet it or not? That is very, very important. So I'm going to be talking about those who own organizations, things you ought to do. In today's world, it's a digital world. If you own a business, to make it more easier, please, you can actually make everything more digital. Make everything more digital. Allow people to work from anywhere. The remote job right now has had people do a lot of things and they are more relaxed. They're able to attend to their families. They're able to attend to their children. They're able to attend to several other things, even have some personal things they need to do. And at the same time, they are productive. Offer flexible start and time and end time at work. Encourage employers or employees to take their vacation. You see people work all through the clock and they're not taking vacations. So working as a team building coach and working with organizations, a lot of times when we go in there, we want people to look at their schedules, and for a department or a team, just like you have Scrum these days, people sit in the Scrum Master sits down and say, what are your schedules? What are the things? Who is going to be available for this project? Who is not going to be available for this project? And everybody gives their schedule. I have been in a team right now. I have a team in running. Most times when we ask people, what is your schedule for the month? People don't know. They don't know. And at the end of the day, they just work and you work out your time. It is important, again, to look at your time, prioritize, check out what you're supposed to be doing, be able to tell your boss, I'm going to be out of office in the next 2 days. I'm going to be out of office in the next 5 days. That gives them ample time to know if they need to replace someone or not. And it also gives you time to rest. It gives you time to breathe. It gives you time to do what you ought to do. So please take out time. Also, for those of us who own businesses, it's important to offer resources like mental health counseling. It's so important. People are juggling with a lot of things. People are juggling with family, with work and all that. Have time where you have your staff come in and have a mental health counselor come in to talk with your staff. Some people are juggling with financial issues, and those things are weighing them down and they're not being able to be productive at work. It is important you have these conversations. It's important to create an atmosphere in your organization where people can actually talk. Create a gym facility in your office. We want to encourage that. Create a gym facility that actually helps people maintain good health, and then they're more functional, their blood is circulating well, their heart is pumping well, and things they would have probably they were supposed to go in jogging in the morning, they couldn't do it, but at work, they could actually take out their break time to just walk into the gym facility, do exercises, and get back to work. Provide a stress management resource, like workshops can help employees cope with workplace pressure. There's a lot of pressure at work. It is so important to deal with that. Offering paid maternity and paternity leaves, these are so important. As entrepreneurs, it's important to know that technologies can actually assist us, just like Dr. Gĩokõ said. It can actually assist us. There's a lot of applications we have right now. There's Trello, there is Microsoft Team, there is Google Meetup. All of these things can actually help you. I run an organization, Global Change Agent Academy, and I have kids from all over the world. From every part of the world. I have people from Saudi Arabia, from name it. And the opportunity to use a Zoom meeting, just like you're here, come together to learn, it's so important. Make things more flexible. That would actually help people have a work-life balance. Have a cloud where people put information together. And for those ones who need to actually go pick it up and do their job, it's more easier. So we have the management tools, like we said, Trello, Monday morning, and the rest of it. I think when in Scrum, they have something called Jira and the rest of it. It is very powerful tool to be used. I just want to encourage you, have these things, communicate and talk, just like Dr. Gĩokõ said, be able to say no if things are getting too much on you as an individual. And even of an organization, for an organization, if you're asked as a business owner, you have a team and you're having to deal with all of your team members and they ask for time out, please, it's important to let people be more comfortable to speak in your environment and not feel restrained because they are not comfortable because they don't know what is going to be coming up. We don't know if you're going to tell them to leave or something. It is so important. With all of this, if we put this together, it's going to be very, very, very important to have people live a very healthy life, have a work-life balance without having so much stress, and live a more successful life. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Nene. I wish we could have more time to share and knowledge from you guys. This is fantastic. What I loved it most about when you mentioned it, that we should give time off to our staff and tell them that they take some time off. And trust me, Mudit, my staff who is in the background, he must be laughing because I've been telling him take holidays, and his response was, oh, you don't like my work? Why are you asking me to take time off? But yes, as a staff member, I guess it's very difficult to hear from your employer saying that take a time off, right? Because we still hold that traditional way of thinking that no, if your employer likes you, that means he will or she will give you more and more work. But it's not true. We do understand, end of the day, I come from the same corporate background where I used to work somewhere, and now I am an entrepreneur. So when I see my staff member, I want them to be appreciated, valued, and same time that they are rested enough. Because I personally understand that how much your life means to you. How can you not have that balance, right? And that's very important. Fantastic. What new I learned from you, Dr. Nene, was fantastic. Use the technology. Technology is there to make your life easier. Use it effectively. As Dr. Gĩokõ has mentioned us, that prioritize the work, urgent, non-urgent, be honest, whereas our Dr. Nene has reiterated, but mention it more about it, technology. And yes, Monday, I heard about these softwares and apps. There are many technology which is free or very cost effective, and we must use that because that is the only way we can try to do the balance. It's not easier for entrepreneurs, especially if you come from that background where you have to manage your family as well alongside your work, and it has to be because that's the part of the life gives you warmth, love, and you should have to have that balance. I don't have a gym at my workplace, but definitely I am going to take aboard this note from you, Dr. Nene, and see if I can give them gym membership instead of having the gym in myself, right? Thank you so much. So we have reached 354 live viewers. Amazing. Can you believe this? By using this technology, we are empowering and spreading this knowledge. So many people across the world, 354 people plus. We have so many people who have been joined here. So thank you so much. Now, without the further ado, we have lots of questions from audience. Let me throw a few questions to you, Dr. Nene and Dr. Gĩokõ. So my first question for today is, what is the time management and the strategy which helps entrepreneurs to balance work life while reducing the stress? Do you want me to repeat? I'm more than happy to repeat. It's quite a two question in one, I guess. What time management strategies which helps entrepreneur balance work-life balance while reducing the stress? Dr. Gĩokõ, Dr. Nene, who would like to go first?
Oh, let me give it a try. So I think I think this is a very, because one thing we have to appreciate is time is limited. We have a set of time. A day is 24 hours, no matter how much work we have. So the idea is to first identify the type of work you need to do and know how much it will take. Because once you know this thing needs 5 days to do, you can't finish it in one day. So you appreciate how long the task will take, and then don't stick on one task for 6 hours. You do a piecemeal, and some of the strategies I use is doing different tasks at a go. So I'll be reviewing a book for 1 hour, I take a rest. I'll be writing a project proposal, I take a rest. So when you mix the type of tasks you're doing, your focus is very good. And after the rest, when you are doing a different piece of work, it is a refreshing, you are leaving the other one a little, so that when you come back, you have fresh eyes and you can take more time in it. So I'll say chunk, vary, and then stay focused.
That's fantastic. What about Dr. Nene? Would you like to add something?
Oh, yes. Like Dr. Gĩokõ said, that was really an amazing answer there. Thank you so much, sir. And, like he said, time is limited. Like I always say to the children in my institution or my academy, the time wasted, you never get it back. So you've got to, like he said, chunk things you need to do. Wake up. Everybody has a gift of 24 hours a day. Everybody. And the truth is, whoever you see that is productive and rich and whatever, use the 24 hours well. So what are you doing with your 24 hours? What are you investing into? When you take out your 24 hours, are you chunking out? Are you going through it and doing it in bits? Like he said, do 25 minutes. I apply the 25 minutes principle. I take out 25 minutes, I read a book, a chapter, even if it's just 3 pages, I'm able to read for the 25 minutes. I leave that, I go to another, I do that and all that. It actually helps you not to multitask so you don't stress your mind and become ruffled and get worn out. But being able to say, today, I'm going to read a book, I'm going to go out, I'm going to take a walk, and then you prioritize these things. At this time, I'm going to do it. At this time, I'm going to do it. That actually helps you manage your time effectively and actually become more productive.
Wow, that's a wonderful answer. Thank you, Dr. Gĩokõ and Dr. Nene. What I hear it was big elephant, eat it by bites. Don't worry too much. Don't overwhelm and try to mix and match. If everybody, every single day, if someone asks you to eat rice, you won't like it. Have the mixture because your mind need that exercise of having the different workout. Some work requires the intense, your mind work, some kind of task require more of the physical, and that really helps. So thank you so much. Great strategies. That was wonderful. Now, the second question our audience has asked, how does the organization promote work-life balance for employees, and how does it impact on their productivity? So again, 2 questions. I think whoever asked questions, they are very smart and clever. They asked 2 questions in one. One question is, how does the organization promote work-life balance for their employee? And the second part of the question is, how does it impact in the productivity of the employee? So who's going to go first? Yes, Dr. Gĩokõ, unmute yourself, please. Dr. Nene said, go for Dr. Gĩokõ.
I think that is a very live experience with what I'm going through at the moment, because
Okay.
my teams work along in the field and they'll be going out of the country for 3 weeks back to back. And I say, no, we need to structure the activity so that there's a break for you. And I have put it in policy that it is a must that you take the break. It's a non-negotiable. Because as much as you think they are working hard, what happens is if they work 7 days, 10 days back to back, then they start becoming sluggish. Something which they could take 1 hour, they take 4 hours. But when you give breaks and you demand, after 5, we are not communicating, I'm not sending any work. When there is a weekend, take a break after 5 days. When they take that break, when they come back, they are very fresh. So what can the organization do? You have to put it in policy. It has to be a non-negotiable. Wellness should be a priority. It's not about working hard. It's about working smart. I want you to stay 4 hours on task, take a rest. And then if we give those breaks, if we have a structure, I like what Dr. Nene said, whereby somebody can go to the gym. So if we have a structured way of appreciating breaks, of appreciating the work somebody can do, of appreciating that you can do it from home if you're comfortable, then that choice will allow my team to be very, very productive, because they feel I care for them. I care for their wellness. I'm not just caring about their productivity, but I know productivity comes from wellness. So once there is that trade-off, when you are very good, you'll do productive. Then it has to be systemic, it has to be structured. I'm sure Dr. Nene will give us more ideas.
Thank you so much. Yes, Dr. Nene, now it's your chance. I think he has covered all, but I'm sure you have some creative strategy for us as well.
Do I? I just think I just have an icing, just a drop of icing on the cake. So let me just drop that. But really fantastic. We need to put some policies that would actually help the organization function. Policies actually make it happen. The MD could just say, take a break. And a new management comes in and say, there's nothing like a break. But when there is a policy and there is a structure and there's documentation, it actually helps. It actually helps the organization. So many things should be documented. And as an entrepreneur, try to document these things, because it will help your team members and help people be more functional. So someone is coming for an interview and the person goes through your office policy and like, oh, they give breaks. Oh, they give maternity break. Oh, when I have a child, they have a daycare in the facility where my children can actually be, and my heart is at rest as a mother that my child is close by. I would really want to take that job and I'll give it my best. I would do everything I can to be productive. So putting the structures actually help for organizations, and putting these policies in place actually help your team members and staff be more productive. So I think the policy is more important, and it will actually help everyone. Thank you.
Wow, that's fantastic answer. Yes, as an employer, as an organizer, if you're thinking about how to promote the work-life balance, we heard from Dr. Gĩokõ and Dr. Nene both reiterate the same message. Put it in the policy, because sometimes it's very important for employees to know that this is their right. And when they feel this is their right, they will claim it. So put in the policy, make it compulsory, non-negotiable. This is a word Dr. Gĩokõ has used, and I will use it now next time when I'm dealing with my lovely staff members. It is non-negotiable. You must take a break. I don't have, the work will wait. It will be go on and on, as Dr. Gĩokõ mentioned before as well, right? 4,000 emails, it will coming on and on and on. But health is very, very important, and we must realize that, promote that consciously. And how does that impact productivity? Yes, you and me, we all are aware of that. Once the mind is at the rest, peace, and enjoying happy energy, the creativity will flourish. You don't have to worry about the productivity. The person who takes 1 hour to do the task, if you get the break and the relax and the happy vibes, happy energy, happy environment, they can finish it in half of the time. And that's what the Oxford study says many times as well. So we have a few more minutes left. We don't miss our third question from our audience, which is, how does technology assist in managing work-life balance and what drawbacks it might pose? We touched somewhere, Dr. Nene did mention about the some app and the technology, but it has another question to attach it, which says, what drawbacks might it pose by using the technology? And we need to be worried or concerned, or should we just aware? So the question is, Dr. Nana, shall we start from you?
Yeah, there's a lot of drawbacks. Thank you so much for that question. Very, very important question to actually pull up. There are a lot of drawbacks with technology because people tend to get carried away and probably are doing things that are not necessary on their system, that are not work related. So you have organizations put apps also on their systems that when you're going off the system, it doesn't allow you to do that. So it brings you back on track. You can check some websites, you can do some things on the system. So it actually puts you within boundaries. So organizations are actually realizing that. And those are things that actually are pulling people. The technology thing could be very distracting. Someone being on the system and just have a pop-up information come up on their system and they're distracted and they're going into it. And that becomes using the office hours to do the wrong things, not being productive. So those things actually are very, those are the negative things about the drop down with systems. But when things are put in place, it actually could help the organization, help the team members become more productive. Dr. Gĩokõ, I don't know if you have more to that. Thank you so much.
Having some internet
That's great,
problem,
yes.
but thank you very much. Yeah, I think technology is good. It's great with technology at the workplace. Some people are comfortable. I have an app I use. It's called Shifts, and because I have field work people, you sign in where you are. So you'll be visiting a school in a remote area. So you log in there. So I know you are in this area. But sometimes the net is not good. The network is not good. Then now we have to say, no, you are not there. You did not go. So because of technology, we start arguing. And then other people don't like that clocking from wherever you are. They say you are intrusive. I say, no, but even at home, just clock in from your house, no problem. But they don't like it. People are not yet wired that I am not.
No.
At work. Why does I? But I like technology because it will track the number of hours somebody's doing, and you will have just in time knowing that Dr. Jaya is overworking. She has clocked out 125 hours without rest. You can tell quickly, and it gives me flags. So and so has been on the road for 125 hours. So I say, please stop. I want you alive. So that's the advantage of the technology and the flip side.
That's wonderful. And I really understand this thoroughly, because being in an organization, when we are using the technology and there is lots of disagreement happens because we blindly believe that technology cannot lie and the humans can. And I fully understand, because it's a machine, why would it lie? But it can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Don't forget that we are the one who created the technology. It's not the technology or the system has created us. Yes, so I fully understand, Dr. Nene and Dr. Gĩokõ, what you mentioned about it. Use the technology, use it effectively. I have half of my work is being done on my phone, so I cannot live without my phone. But there are so many unnecessary notifications, ping, 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 all the time happens. So I learned to unmute. I learned to unnotification for my phone, that I don't want any notification from WhatsApp until and unless I have a time where I am going to go and check the messages. I don't want somebody beeping me that, hey, I need your attention. If you really need my attention, take a call. I am available at the other phone. That's it. So that's fantastic. And I 100% agree. Technology is there to assist you. As our board speaker has mentioned it to us, yes, AI is there. Use it wonderfully, but use it in your benefit. Make sure don't rely thoroughly on it, because there was a time we were still living happily when there was no sat-nav and we were navigating ourselves, right? Don't forget to enjoy those times too in your life. But when it comes to work-life balance and when there's a prioritize, use wisely and do that. So this is reaching end of the session. We have still 5 more minutes. If audience has any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself and throw the question. I'm sure both of our speakers will be happy to answer. Okay. Yes, please do drop your email address because we will be sending out the certificates of you attending this session as appreciation. Anybody else? Okay, I guess no questions, but I have one question for you.
I have a question.
Okay, please.
Thank
Yes.
you. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nene, for sending me this invite. I'm grateful. My name is Charity. And so this is what we are actually faced with in Nigeria here. I still had a fight with my staff members, one of my staff members, I think last Wednesday. You know, I run a school. So you see a teacher who comes to class and then the next thing is he's walking out to either go and check his phone or answer his phone, despite being in the policy of the school. When we take staff members, we do what we call an onboarding stroke orientation. And so we read it out during the orientation process. And so we let them know that you are not supposed to go to your phone during the school hours, and that is between 8 and 2 p.m. But we still find that these things occur over and over. In fact, for this particular staff member, a male staff member, he is always on his phone. If he's not telling you that he has an emergency call, he's saying something. So how do we begin to, address or manage this kind of person in the workplace? Thank you so much.
Dr. Nene, would you like to answer that, please? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So thank you for honoring the invitation and being part of this. And I hope this has really been helpful. Yes, so people could be difficult to work with, human nature, and sometimes just human psychology and all that. Again, let it be in the policy. And I would say, as it is in the policy, call for a meeting. And if you need to let the person go, let them go, because they are not, whatever they're doing on their phone is not impacting, or neither is it contributing to the organization. If it's not an official thing, then there is no need for you to be on your phone. If that is clear and that is put in the policy, call their attention to it, tell the HR to send them a warning. And if that happens again, let them go. At that point, you've used them to actually let every other person in the organization know this is your standard and you do not take this. And during work hours, these are the things you don't do. You have your time. You have the break time, 30 minutes to go through your phone. Why don't you catch up at that time? Why would you have to leave children in class and go out? And these are people's kids, and children are so important. That 1 minute you just stepped out, another child could poke another child. Sure. And what happens to the organization? I had my son in daycare, and my son, I don't know if the teacher had the same thing you're talking about. My son was sitting next to this boy, and the guy, the person who was in charge of the class stepped out, and this other guy sat on my kid and started taking a bite on him, like literally biting him. And by the time we got to the hospital, the doctor said human bites are even worse than a dog's bite. So he was swollen. She didn't even notice until she came back to the class. And because my son wasn't that audible in crying, he was just, he was struggling for his life. When she went to grab him, and at that point, the damage has been done. So for people working with children, and as a parent coach, is a no-no. Put strict structures and let them understand, with this, you can be here, and they need to understand the importance of taking care of other people's children. I think that's what I'm going to say to that. Thank you.
That's so true, Dr. Nene. Yes, thank you so much, Charity, for asking this question. Just to remind audiences, today's session is work-life balance. So if you have any questions regarding work-life balance, would be appreciated, because Dr. Gĩokõ and Dr. Nene are really so much qualified in education. They are qualified author. They are qualified in the mental health of the human as a organizer, as a person, as an individual employee, employer. It is very, very important. We had a fantastic session about how to prioritize your task, how to deal with your day-to-day task and use the technology. However, limit that how much you can rely on the technology. So if you guys, please don't forget to drop, because we have a lovely Mudit who is working in the background, who's taking all the email addresses and sending the participation certificate to you as well. And you can use this for your continuous development program as well. So any more questions about the work-life balance? Would be happy to answer. Or mental health. This is a mindful entrepreneur session. We are happy to help you anywhere.
Hi, I've got a question. It's
Yes,
Olga
please.
here. I wanted to find out, I mean, I know we talk a lot about work-life balance, and I wanted to ask the speakers, where does intentionality come into in trying to find balance? Because I know that a lot of people do struggle with definitely settling into trying to find their sweet spot and knowing whether be it how to make decisions and how to lead their life and how to manage work. Is there really balance? And if there is, what is the role of intentionality in trying to make these two aspects of our lives work?
Dr. Gĩokõ, would you like to jump on this answer?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, because you need to know the trade-in benefits. What are you trading off? Why are you taking a rest? Because unless you know the gains, unless you appreciate the benefits, then you'll not go through this way of. Because it has a lot of, and I like what Dr. Nene said, it has a lot of mental issues, it has a lot of medical issues, if you do not follow it. And unless you know that overworking yourself has all these consequences, has all this illness which can come to you, then you will not trade in, you will not invest in your wellness. So it's an issue that intentionality will be hooked, will be drawn by knowing the cost benefit of what does it take for me to take a rest after 25 minutes? What if I don't? What are the consequences? The moment you are able to impact or unpack those consequences and the benefit that you can get, my friend, automatically you'll gravitate yourself from taking care of yourself. It's about you, because you're the one who's going to be productive. And if you're not well, you know what will happen. I'm sure Dr. Nene will add more to this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gĩokõ. Yes, Dr. Nene, is there anything you would like to add more? Your
Yes,
icing on the cake?
My icing on the cake, thank you. Yourself is very important. Prioritize yourself. People do not understand the me, because we've been taught to serve and serve and serve, do for people. We don't look at the me. And look, if anything happens, life goes on without you. The organization will function. They will replace, like they'll put out the advert in the next 2 minutes. So you've got to prioritize yourself. Like Dr. Gĩokõ said, know what is important, what you need to let go. Don't feel guilty. I think the guilt is what makes us, oh, if I do this. And sometimes we think we're too important to an organization. Oh, if I take a break, what will happen? Oh, somebody would die, or this work will not be done. Come on, the work is going to be done. Wake up. That's the reality. And again, if anything happens, if your family fall apart, if your children end up in jail, if anything happens, this organization is on. So you've got to prioritize, be intentional to know my family is important. My child's school activity is so important because it's once in a lifetime event and I have to be there. So be bold to tell the HR, I've got to go for this program because my child needs me there. The enlightenment, the excitement, the joy in the child's face to see mom in the crowd means a lot to him. And it will forever remain in their minds. Some of us grew up with our parents working and working and never showed up in our events. We are traumatized with those things today. We feel bad. And the school has this event and the whole place is empty. And the child goes in and like, ooh, the child may not even be able to perform because you are not there. So let's get back to the family life. You are important. Prioritize yourself. And for a woman who is going through menopause, for instance, and is working, prioritize yourself. That's a season in your life. As a as a menopause coach, I tell the women, prioritize yourself. Check your body, know how your body's functioning. If it's not a day to go to work, call up and say, I've got to take today off. And please, for those who own organizations, it's so important to have those things in your policy. Pay that day off. She is resting to be productive for the organization. Even the trees rest. The tree produces fruit. And there's a season when the animals hibernate. Everything hibernates. God gives, there's a time to rest. And we've got to take this thing so important so we can have a work-life balance. Walking all through and leaving things that are important to die is not being intentional, but you've got to be intentional by knowing those things that are important, prioritize them like Dr. Gĩokõ said at the beginning of this presentation, and be who you are to be. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Nene, Dr. Gĩokõ. That was well answered. I fully agree that, and this is the reason why government has those policies, right? Minimum wage rate, why there's a policy of the every 4 hours you work in UK, you have to have a 20 minutes break. And then if you're working more than 6 hours, you have to have a 1 hour break so that you can rest and then you can come back with a full productivity. And yes, I agree that we, as a person, as an employee, majority of time, we believe that we are so important to the company. And there is an element of this, but don't forget that the work is a part of your life. It is not a life. There is a life outside the work. And I always encourage, and I'm sure Mudit will agree with me, I always encourage him, weekend, just enjoy. When you are off, you're off. I don't want you hang around with the messages and the emails. Just rest unless there is so important and burning something, then take a call. Otherwise, just ignore. End of the day, tomorrow will be again same and you will have opportunity to shine again. So don't worry too much. Fantastic. We went over. This was a fantastic session today. And thank you everyone for joining online and here. It was great. We had up to 360 live viewers. So don't forget to attend our next session. Next session, we're going to talk about the imposter syndromes and overcoming with the self-doubt on Thursday, next Thursday, which is the 20th of June, 4 p.m. same time, UK, London time. Till that, everyone, please take care of yourself and have a lovely, wonderful rest of the week. Enjoy. Take care.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to catch our next session live on 20th June 2024.